Hey, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for today. I hope you're doing very well. Thank you for your like. Yeah, thank you so much, Jen. Welcome. Thank you for your help today. For anyone else who's watching, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for your like. Yeah, so we're going to jump into the Keepers of the Light deck first of all, to see what's going on. Let's see what messages they want to sort of what they're wanting to show us here. Astral, thank you so much, Mark, for joining us. I hope you're doing very well. Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. So collectively at the moment, there's a huge wave of energy that we've already had in. You may be seeing that already. If you are, my thoughts are with you, because this is no joke. This energy at the moment. It's like I feel like someone sucker punched me, if I'm totally honest with you. The sleeping may be a larger, you may want to sleep more. You may feel like your body's needing more sleep. You may feel like there's a lot of toxic energy around you and you're just trying to keep to your own lane. Hello, Joanna, I hope you're doing well. So if you haven't already experienced that, that's good. But just pay attention to your body at the moment. Hey, Karen, I hope you're doing well. Just pay attention to your body. Interestingly, we had a very large blast on the 12th from the Schumann resonance, which I'm assuming that was the date I was picking up on and what that was about, the specific date. It was a very large influx of energy that we had, and I think I told you that it was actually on the 12th that I felt like I had to sleep randomly. It was like I needed the sleep. Hey Tina, I hope you're doing well. So this is the thing. I think over the next few days, just look out for that, because there's a heck of a lot of energy that we're kind of anchoring into the earth. It's going to be very important to ground. It's going to be very important to get a lot of sleep, and it's going to be very important for water. You may see people around you who are maybe not as aware of energy, or if they are aware of energy, that they may not be able to read energy very well, reacting very badly. Unfortunately, I've already had that experience in my own home. I'll be really honest with you, I was debating whether or not to go live today. So if you haven't already had that, because I'm feeling a little bit better, then just be aware. It could be that that's just going to miss you altogether. It could be that over the next few days you'll see that, you'll witness it. It could be that in people around you there's a lack of awareness, a very distinct. It's like you're talking to them and there's nothing. They're not registering what you're saying. See how you get on with it. As I say, I don't think that's going to affect everyone, but I'm definitely noticing it from here and from what clients are telling me. So yeah, just pay attention for that. Grounding, it's about making sure that you're grounding. Salt baths, a lot of water, staying around things that uplift you. I feel like this is just, we're being prepared for, I think, Virgo season as well, which is that kind of, it's more grounded as well. Don't forget, I feel like kind of Cancer season, Leo season was, it was all over the place. But I think we're being really kind of grounded into things around, obviously because it's an earth sign, but just more so this time round. But I think the waves of energy that we've had over the last couple of days, get ready to sort of observe how that affects you. As I say, for me, it's my body, physical, but the physical side of things, and toxic energy. I'm just staying in my own lane here. I'm not seeking out anything. This energy, from where I'm looking, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. And here we go. Soul expansion. This is why the energy's here. Mavatar Babaji, soul expansion. This is the thing, when you're getting light anchored onto the earth, it's bringing everything up everywhere. And people who probably don't understand what that is, they're just kind of like, and as an empath or a healer or as a light worker or whatever, you know, as an intuitive, you'll kind of observe it going, like, are you okay? And then they're not, but they don't know how to articulate that. And so it's just kind of like the energy is everywhere. So just be aware of that. Again, it's random things as well. It's an interesting one because it's things that are being brought up. Yeah, it's disassociation. It's like a numbness. They're not getting the lights are on, but no one's home, and you're again. It's either very it's a mass dark night of the soul that I'm witnessing, but people don't. Again, thank God for people that can tune into guides, meditate. We're very usually, hopefully, aware where we go, something's not right. Let me just withdraw and observe what is going on here so I can work it out. And then usually we observe it and we go, this makes sense. I'm going to correct this or I'm going to do that. These people haven't got no offense, but they haven't got the capability of doing that. And so it's just projected absolutely everywhere. And unfortunately, it's going on in my own home at the moment, where it's just like the lights are on, but no one's home, and I'm just trying to stick to my own lane. But there's you've got to remember, especially as an empath, if you're absorbing that light and you're the sponge, it's a freaking nightmare. So just be very aware, especially Karen, if you're working in a shop or anyone that's working within the public, because this is the problem. My brother works in a shop, and he brings it home. He doesn't cleanse, doesn't do anything. He drinks, then he's literally above me, so I'm having to work 15 times harder here to cleanse everything. It's a full-time job in itself, and because again, I need to put it this way, I need to move out. That's the end goal, is me moving out, but that's not an option at the moment for me. So at the moment, I'm having to work 15 times harder just to clear everything, because this is my workspace, and to sit and kind of explain that is going in one ear and out the other, because there's a lack of awareness. So if you're getting people that are non-responsive, if you're getting energies that are rude, obnoxious, selfish energies, don't take the bait, because they want it. There's a subconscious patterning going on here where the plan is for them to sit and observe, and there's an awakening going on, but they're not doing that. They're distracting themselves as per the collective, and so the more aware people are absorbing it, and at the moment I refuse to. So I'm kind of cocooning myself a little bit here, because my work is important to me, and I'm not going to sit and absorb an energy that is not really mine to absorb. So just be aware of that. Yeah, salt baths will ground you, walking, water, anything that you're anchoring your energy into the earth. I'll be honest with you, I'm doing 45-minute meditations a day, and it's not enough. That's when there's an energy coming in that we need to be aware of. So if you haven't already witnessed that, if maybe you're not working with the public, or you're keeping your own bubble, be grateful and take this opportunity to look within and see what it is you need to look at, because there's a mass healing going on, but people they're not conscious of what it is. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm living with my mum and my brother, who have no awareness of looking at within. And so there's a lot of volatile energy that I'm trying to withdraw from, because I'm not about to start entering into that energy. So be aware. And I know usually, because my mum's Cancer Sun and Scorpio Moon, and she's out and about, my brother's out and about, they're absorbing it from the collective, bringing it here, and because they don't do anything about it, it's me recycling for 3 people and all the other people that I'm working with. Yeah, so if you feel like you've got other activities that you feel drawn to, then go with those. But eating light is going to help as well. Look after yourself. This is about your self-care, as per the previous messages. This, I'm going to be honest with you, from where I'm reading this, I'll be really honest with you. When I'm in this energy, the last time I was in this energy, we had firebombs all the way around UAE, Lebanon, and all that other stuff. That was the last time I felt this energy. So just be very aware. So we need to, again, I've been doing a lot of asking upstairs to transmute and to try and ease this, because this energy is not good. I'm not going to lie. I'm very acute, unfortunately, acutely aware of how the energy works, and I'm trying to disperse it and move it along because it wants to stay and it's stagnant. So we've got to try and be very aware of that. Luckily, the heat has calmed down here, which is brilliant. So that's awesome, because the heat was a different level again, but now it's like we've had this kind of storm here, but the energy's still, it's a lot. The energy's a lot in this country. My guys tell me there's something brewing here, which is why it's very stagnant. They're saying it could also be collective, so just bear that in mind. So extra time to the self, make sure maybe you're getting an extra 5-10 minutes of sleep where you can. Oh, Karen, yeah, I had a few chocolate bars here. Like, I was like, this is not not a drill. This is not a drill. Like, I want, I'll be honest with you, it was the first chocolate bar I had in a while, and it was amazing. Yeah. If you, of course, if you want to treat yourself, do it. 100% do it. 100% do it. But I've got all my food prepared for the week. I've got all my nice smoothie making stuff. I've got my sushi making. I've got my sushi mat. I'm going to be making very light foods. Sushi for snacks. And then I've got vegetable casserole that I'm going to be making if I wanted something a bit warmer. But so I'm going to be on a very, hopefully kind of a bit of a detoxy diet. Because again, lighter energies. So my body is preparing. Because this energy is no joke. So don't forget what the energy we saw, which was that door kind of cracking wide open, and there's a light there, but it's like the collective is in a bit of a dark night of the soul at the moment. It says here your consciousness is expanding, you expand the connection between all things, and that's why they're showing it here. So if you're being shown this, it's kind of a precursor, because usually when you're being shown these kind of energies, there's a reasoning for it. Yeah, that's my plan. I've got pretty much all my shopping was fruit and veg this time. I bought a few bagels just for the morning if I quickly want to rush something, and then the rest is for like veggie casseroles and stuff. And I've got a lot of other stuff that my veggie stuff in the freezer. So don't forget, sometimes if there's a resistance. Now, for me, the energy in this house is, I'm not going to lie, awful. Because we've got 2 unawakened people, and I mean totally asleep, to the point where they are watching the news 24 hours a day. And there's me. So do what you can. There's the idea behind this is they're trying to get you, specifically if it's your living arrangements, if it's your work arrangements. First of all, if it's your working arrangements, they want you to anchor your light into the workplace, and there's probably a very vital role you're doing there, because your energy is probably, counteracting or balancing out the energies of people coming into the shop, which is very important. But if it's in your home, find the peace within. I had a very lengthy talk with my guides and my ancestors the last day or so, where we're formulating plans of action and trying to recalibrate best we can, but it's because they have little to no awareness. It sounds really rude the way I'm saying this, but there's little to no awareness. Like, it is what it is. So we have the awareness, so that's what we focus on. Okay, we go within, we try and rebalance ourselves, and we find that at that peace. It's up to them. If they want to bring that into a house, then we are centered enough where we don't have that affect us, and that's the goal. Okay, so if it's anything, it's friends, if it's work, if it's home, we center ourselves enough where that energy is not able to come near, essentially, or to let them deal with it, because it's not our job to do that, really. When people don't want to look, and there's a distinct lack of awareness, and there's nothing you can do. Oh, see, Nina, I can well imagine that, because I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same. We've got one that stays at home all day, and there's one that works in a shop, and the energy is awful. The energy is awful. So luckily, my friend, who every time we talk is like on exactly the same wavelength, we were talking last night, and he was like, this is exactly the same for me. So rest assured that if you're feeling this, the job for you would be to make sure it's not affecting you. Now, that's easier said than done. Trust me, that's easier said than done, especially if you've got more than one energy that is. And don't forget, I've got 2 Scorpio moons here. One's a Gemini and one's a Cancer sun. And it's like, I'm sure, because this is the thing, when I'm reading clients, the energies, some of my clients have got a very evolved, very, very, very talented energy, and I'm like, whoa, when I'm connecting with them, I'm like, wow, this is brilliant, you know. And everyone's all they're empaths, or they're healers, or, you know, whatever or you're, you know, there's this latent ability. Yeah, Nina, this is exactly what I do. But then, do you know what it is? It's when they come into that space. So if you lock yourself in your room and then they come into that space, or they cross a boundary into your own space, is when things go a bit weird, because this is exactly what I do. This is exactly what I do. But if someone walks in because they're seeking that new energy out, because they can't, it's codependent behavior. They don't know how to balance themselves out. They don't have that capability because they ignore it. They're used to distractions, the television, things that they don't have to do the work with. And this is the thing, I've done that all my life with my mum, unfortunately. And it's, you know, without disrespecting anything with her path, it's just the way it is. It's some people need help with that, and some people can handle that and process it and work through it, because that's all they've had to do, you know. So the people that are used to dealing with this, and they're used to working through it and moving forward, forging on, we're very capable of managing that ourselves, because that's all we've ever known, you know. And it's important to get your own care time. Make sure you're pampering yourself, make sure you're looking after yourself, you know, anything you can do to make yourself uplift you, make yourself feel good. You know, I'm creating my new chill playlist, and I've got my I've got all my little tools. I've got my earphone extenders to put from the television into, so I'm not creating noise to where people want to come into my room. I'm creating quiet, and I'm playing, you know, lots of different music out that's chill, you know, calming. So the best you can do is the best you can do. All right. I mean, to be honest with you, my guides are my saviors. I touch base with them at all points in time. Yeah. So your spirit team, it's really weird actually, because I was kind of sat here last night thinking, right, let's just put that to one side. I did all my self-care and stuff, and I was like reviewing things, and they were all literally filling the room, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I get it. So it's, you're never alone in this. You're never alone. Now, I'm, thank God for me, where I can see, I can feel, I can hear, and they're feeding me the information. They're telling me, don't entertain this, don't sort of take the bait, because it's an energy exchange. If they're seeking that out, because they're seeking your energy out, they're a bit of energy vampirism going on. So make sure you're being a bit aware of that, all right? And listen to the guides, look for the signs, because you'll be getting signs of reassurance, all right? So just rest assured that the team is with you, especially if you've got other, you know, maybe you feel like you don't have friends, or you don't have, you know, I don't know, someone to share things with. Your guides are here. Your guides, they are absolutely working, you know, on your behalf, and they're trying to help you. So even if you want to ask them, like, what do I need to be aware of, what are the obstacles, how can you help me with these obstacles, they'll give you the answers. My answer was, don't entertain it, because it's an energy exchange. They want my energy, and I, no offense, but it's sounds awful because this is my mum, but it's enabling a behaviour that is not being learned. And the situation that happened was my shopping got delivered and I was so exhausted. This is the deal, I'm going to be honest, right? So there's 2 cars in the driveway, and my room here is on the ground floor, and there's 2 cars, all right? The window can't open properly because the cars don't fit in the driveway because the driveway's been blocked. So I pushed my car back, but I can't open the windows. So because of the heat, I was exhausted, so I took a nap, but I forgot my shopping was being delivered. Shopping came, and instead of my mum asking the man to put the shopping on the doorstep and just leave it for me, right, so my mum's not having to heavy lift or anything, she didn't. She spent 25 minutes trying to kick my door in because my door's locked, to the point where the neighbour thought there was someone trying to break in here, and I thought the police were going to get called. So obviously I'm half asleep waking up. I've run out to go and get this shopping, and the man's laughing because obviously it must look ridiculous. And he's probably heard my mum trying to kick my door in. I mean, put it this way, my mum's, she's 65, and there's clearly a lack of logic going on here. Okay, there's a lack of logic. So after that, I took the shopping, and then my brother came home from work. It just all blew up. So I came back in my room, and I just locked myself in, and I was like, I don't want to deal with this. This is up to you to deal with now. So yeah, just let them get on with it. Let them spontaneously combust in their own area. You know what I mean? Let's let them deal with that, because first of all, it's karmic. And second of all, it's because my mum's overwhelmed and she can't handle that. So she'll come to me and blow up and start arguing. And so you don't entertain, you just recognize the pattern and keep in your own lane. That's the advice, all right? If you're being drawn into that, it's because they want. My mum's scared, but it's fear, and so they go to the healer. That's how it works. They go to the healer. They don't know how to process it. They go to the healer. That's it. So if you're having the same issues with your family members, all right, let the dust settle. And then what I tend to do about 15 times a month is I go in and I sit and I reassure her how loved she is and that there's nothing to be afraid of. You would have thought that I'm the freaking mother, but this is the reality of what I deal with. And so we have to, unfortunately, if you're the bigger person, you have to be the bigger person. Because I'll be honest with you, some people don't want to do the work. And if I'm living here, I have to, unfortunately, be a bit clever with what I'm doing. You know, at some point, I'm not going to have to deal with this. Thank God. But until I get to that point, this is the situation. All right. So if you're dealing with that in your situation, take it a day at a time. All right. Because what this is doing is that they're having an awakening, but they're scared. They're going for a dark night of the soul, but they're scared. And so they go. It's like a moth to the light. They'll seek out the energy that looks like it knows what it's doing. Okay. So Mark, if that's you, then it's you from your dad. All right. And again, Tina, if it's you, then it's, your sister's recognizing that in you, then it's you. But the important thing is we are not absorbing that. And if at all possible, we don't entertain it, ideally, because you don't want to enable that behavior. It's up to them to understand. Wow. Yeah, because they again, it's that fear. They're trying to, but you've got to worry about this, and you've got to worry about that. And that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. Oh, bless her. We also, listen, I've got a lock on my door. That's the boundary. But people don't have an awareness because they're confused. Just take it a day at a time with that. Because this is the thing. If you're not living with them and it's a more broader issue, it's usually karmic. But 9 times out of 10, it's fear that they've absorbed because they've been, again, my mum sits and watches the news 24 hours a day and then starts freaking out. And it's like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. If he's not living with you, Mark, you're like, you are. I'm telling you now, you're laughing. You're laughing, and this is the issue. Now I've got to, because this is. I'll tell you what it is. So because my dad's been ill, so what happens is my mum was ill, and then she got better, and then I went to go and visit my dad because he was ill. My mum knew that, and so then when I got back, that was it. It blew up. It's like this old patterns of behaviour between her and my dad, that they have this competition because she knows my dad was ill recently. She wants my attention. They both want my attention. This is what happens when you grow up as an empath and you're the only light in the family. This is what happens. And so when people are like, oh, you're really connected to your guides, why is that? Because they brought me up. I came here and they basically made me. My granddad, I have to give respect, total 100,000%. Thank God for granddad. But the guides, unbelievably amazing, and my mum obviously did her part. But there's a limit. Look, we're talking about people that don't have an awareness, or they're doing what they can and they can't do anymore. Now, is that your job to deal with? Absolutely not. It's up to them. But I'm telling you to sort of try and help you understand this. But it's your job to put your self-care up to 1,000 at the moment if this is affecting you. Pamper yourself. Steve Noble's just uploaded a self-love meditation because the wording of what people were using to me yesterday was not acceptable. It was getting very toxic. In fact, it was more than toxic, it was abusive. So again, I took the time to do yet another 45 meditation on top of my original 40. But that's because I have to be aware. If I'm working, I've got to be on it, because there's no point me doing this and then absorbing all this other stuff. Now that's going to die down now. That will die down, right? Because there's a new moon coming next week on the 19th. But between now and the 19th, just be aware. All right, now I'm going to be giving you a heads up. The new moon is in Leo. I'm going to be honest with you. The new moon is in Leo. So if you've got some understanding of this now, and you can understand what I'm saying, what I want you to do is be very aware for the next week or so, maybe a few days after the 19th. This energy, I'm hoping, won't be the case, but it may start trying to challenge you and draw you into an argument because it wants your energy. Now, it's karmic. From where I'm standing, from where my situation is, mine is karmic, which means I have to deal with it. Which means we do what we can. We don't. There's not. If we can't, there's. You can only do your best. You can only do your best. And if people don't want to listen, then they don't want to listen. It's up to them. It's free will. But at some point, they will understand it. But until then, you focus on you. Absolutely, 1,000%. So I'll give you an example. My day, I actually had a day off yesterday because I was like, no, I need to really get my head into gear here with this, because this energy is ramping up now. And yeah, I mean, it's like it's interesting because I'm seeing, and bearing in mind, I deal with a lot of psychics on YouTube. They come to me for readings. They're reporting, interestingly, the same thing. It's your birthday on the 21st, is it? So you're a Virgo, are you? Just be aware. Just be aware. If you've got these individuals that are in around you in that sort of energy, don't enter into it. It's going to be, they'll try. I'm going to be very honest with you. We're talking about people on the usually that are a little bit unaware, that don't sit and kind of review it, or they can't because they're at their limit. And because they're at their limit, and maybe you're a little bit more an older soul, or maybe you can see a bit more perspective, or you can see it from a 360-degree angle. I don't know. Whatever you do, don't get drawn into that, because it's going to create more of a ripple effect. It's going to create more of a ripple effect. All right. But this is about soul expansion. It's trying to help you understand from all perspectives. From where I'm looking at, they can't have. I'll be honest with you. There's a limit with people, and like I said, I don't know if They are able to review how to sort of expand things for themselves. You just made Leo, did you? A Leo Virgo cusp. Yeah. I mean, I've got an Aries Taurus cusp, so that can be difficult with that kind of fire and earth energy. That can be very difficult. Be very aware as well that even if no one understands you, your guides do, and there are people on this planet that are going to, and that you are definitely loved and that you are very much wanted here. Okay, that's another message I have to give, because there was some information being given to me yesterday. I was just kind of like, I mean, clearly no one can really justify what you're saying here, but apparently you can in this instance. So I'll let you learn however long you need to. Like, I'm just going to leave you with that. You know, there's nothing you can't lead. You can only lead the horse to water. You can't make it drink. All right, that's up to them to deal with. My mum's just got over cancer as well, so you'd have thought that she'd have maybe tried to, I don't know, but apparently the lesson is not, the penny's not dropping here. So like I said, yeah, thanks guys for your likes, I appreciate you. So can you see here, between the heart chakra and the throat chakra, there's there needs to be a bit of balance. And I'll be honest with you, if you're not, you don't feel like that's the case, that it's even more the case for you, because this is exactly the energy we need. We don't want, and it sounds awful, but it's very easy to slot into the masses and just be one of the people sat watching the news. But if you're not that, and you're trying to create a path for everyone and yourself, and then you're being met with this kind of a lot of different resistance, be aware that you're very much wanted and needed here. Okay, so just bear that in mind and try not to take it personally, because this is the thing, if there's a light within you, then the chances are that's the resistance, that there's a wounded energy here that's not being released, and they don't know how to read you. Usually my understanding is that they don't know how to read it. It's hitting against the light is hitting against their wounds, and they don't know how to process that as well. If they react very badly, especially if it's random and you're just like, sorry, I'm a bit confused. I was just locking myself in my room. What exactly has happened here, you know? So again, it's fear. Mia, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're doing very well. Take good care of yourself. So the important part here is to understand within our lives and the why, because this is the thing, you've got to remember, there's no coincidence why that's happening. Because what they're doing is there's a resistance, okay? Which means usually, depending on what you're here to do in your soul path, it means we need to get cracking, usually, because, or there's an energy coming in we need to be aware of, but everyone's circumstances will be different. The problem is that people can take it personally and go, oh my goodness. And it's easily done, because especially when there's more than one energy doing it, you know. So we you know, if it's really affecting you, make sure that you're healing that, and you're sitting in that energy, you're surrendering to that, and then releasing it, and then you move on. Don't muster and stand in that energy, because that's not that. I mean, try and understand the lesson in that, and then, you know, do a bit of self-care, focus on you, but don't wallow in it. Don't wallow in it. Don't forget, if your vibration's higher and then there's people sort of trying to do this, you need to get yourself back up, and okay, take the time to do it, give yourself some space and time, but don't, again, you've got to be aware of what's going on in the wider scale of things. There's a lot of spiritual kind of fluctuations, there's waves, it goes in and out, there's this tug of war going on. All right, so you've got to maintain the energy for you. Doesn't matter about anything else, just for you. Even you know, if your soul mission isn't anything to do with this, it's just for you. All right, because you want to, you know, this is about enjoying the little things. Now I tell you what, for me, my guides, they were getting all kinds of freaking, I was getting all the old, you know, the offerings out. I was like, thank God for you, thank God for the guides. So find the little things that really uplift you. Okay, if it's doing your artwork, do that. If it's your meditation, do that. If it's your yoga, do that. If it's your healthy eating, do that. If it's your creating all your little music playlists, if it's creating music, you know, my friend's a poet, so he writes music. We were discussing what we do to sort of, because he's going through the same I was going. It was like we always seem to have exactly the same thing going on, and so we were sort of brainstorming ideas. And then I was sitting with the guides and brainstorming ideas, because we're not gonna. This is it. This is our space. This is our light. Okay, and we're here on this planet for a reason, and we're not going to be forced off or pushed off, or you know, projected onto, because that's not. And it doesn't mean to say we're going to go over the top with it and sort of stand our ground and make things ridiculous. It just means within our own space, within our own boundaries, we are observing and upholding that light, because we have to. We're here for a reason. And so are you guys. If you're having that resistance and people are just randomly taking a massive offense to you for no reason, it means you're here to hold the light. And so that's your job. And it means if there's a compromise of that, then we rebalance, we draw our energy, we go within, we recalibrate, and then we move forwards, honoring ourselves. Let them worry about that. Okay, and we show love at the same time, but we don't allow ourselves to have, again, this is what happens. I will leave that now for a few months. I won't now, if someone addresses me and there's a good morning, of course I will be polite, but I'm not entertaining that. That's and I'm very good at keeping to my own space. I'm very good at that. I've got it down to fine art form, in fact. So we just focus on the job at hand, which is our own heart, and if it's a longer term issue, if it's not just a temporary issue, if maybe you've always had that experience with your relatives, like your father or your mother, your sister, or whoever it is. Now for me, mine's karmic. Me and my mum have a very, very karmic relationship. My mum had a very hard upbringing, where her dad worked a lot and her mum didn't really give her a lot of attention, and so she's not great in terms of rearing daughters. In fact, that's why she wanted a son, so, and then she had a lot that she went through. So her choice was to awaken or to stay in that pattern, and she stayed in a pattern. So this is down to me to deal with, and so I'm doing it, but there's a resistance. Okay, so because of the fact that me and my mum have had a lot of past lives, and I would have been very cruel to her at some point. Okay, so you've got to remember, it's not tit for tat. We're not in a game. This is not a game. We don't take that kind of behavior. We move away from that. Okay, but we try and keep our heart open. Don't close your heart up in these situations. As soon as you do that and you start closing down your heart, that's the lesson. The lesson is to keep your heart as open as possible during all this. Okay, must keep your heart open, because this is how you're expanding, and your heart is the gateway. Your heart is the key. And remember what I was saying in the last live, where the future, where we're about to be projected into this lesson, and there's these choices coming up. Don't forget, there's going to be tests here, so we've got to be really aware of what this is. Now, I'm sure that that's going to be a part 50 million at some point, but just take it a day at a time. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. But if someone doesn't want to be aware of that, then you can't force them. You just have to hand it upstairs. And I'm laughing because my guides are like, yes. my guides are like, you've handed this so many times upstairs now that we don't know what to do about it. Oh, I've got to laugh. My eyes are sticking together with this fake eyelashes. I've got to laugh. Yeah, exactly. This is about your boundaries, and this is an art form. If you can get this down to an art form where you are not affected, you are laughing. Now, again, this is not about pretending that that's, oh, you know, that there's no issue. You still have to enter, you know, go into those feelings and work them out. Of course, you don't just sit there and pretend that it's okay. That's not how you do it. But you have to, you know, experience this. Maybe give yourself a day, you know, and then move on. Once you've released what you can, and if you think, right, there's nothing really more I can do here, then you move on. And if you feel like you put an action plan together, then you do that. Because again, we've got the guides here, you know, and you've got your guides. Some people have no connection to that as far as they're aware, because they don't believe in it. So then they look, there's a codependent energy going on here. There's a codependent energy going on here. So you try and keep your boundaries, all right? Because, you know, to try and absorb that energy, it's a quick fix for people, isn't it? And sort of to take that kind of frustration out. It's a quick fix, isn't it? Because they haven't dealt with the issue, they haven't dealt with the feelings. So just be aware of the patterns, because it will really help you. But the heart, keep the heart open. You are entitled to be here, and you are loved, and you are deeply cared for. Your guides want you to know that. Because this is what, I mean, for goodness sake, I was trying to get to sleep last night, and they were like, keep going, Jale, keep going. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I am. I said, if you think this is, I mean, I said, come on, you must know me by now. And they're like, yes. You know, they understood. I was like, I'm trying to sleep. Can I sleep now, you know? God forbid anyone sleeps in this fucking house, you know? So, as I say, just rest assured. Just keep going with it. And your guides will be saying the same sentiments. Keep going. And it's not about burning yourself out and ignoring and neglecting your heart, because you still do that work. But that kind of energy, if you know, if it's a reoccurrence and you've tried everything you can to be, you sit down and you try and have a, you know, a balanced adult conversation, and if that is not heard, you have your answer, in my opinion. If you know, if they reach the classic is when they reach for the remote control and turn the TV up. that's when you know that there's probably this is probably a little bit of a waste of your time, you know. So that's it. That's all you do. You hand it upstairs, and then you go, thank you, Spirit. You've taught me a wise lesson here. You've taught me a valuable lesson here. Is that thank God for you, and thank God my heart is open enough to understand this information and to be told, you know. Thank God. And that's it. But there's an awakening coming here. Did you hear that? Someone's screaming outside now. Oh Lord, here we go. I'm gonna have to get Sage out in the garden in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna try and chill out a little bit here. I'm like this. Please no. Right. Awakening. Can you see the background? We've got the flower of life. It looks like very Metatron energy here, doesn't it? It's blue, Archangel Michael. Understanding, because actually the more you understand this, the easier it gets, and you don't need to take it to heart. One sec. Is that any better, Mia? There's people are using the internet a lot in the house. There's probably about 16 different laptops and TVs on upstairs. We're not even going to go into that, but needless to say, that's the deal. And here's my girl, Bridget. Bridget is, there's something about Bridget here. I've turned my internet off on my phone, because there's probably about 15 different internet usages going on upstairs. And yes, the internet in the UK is not great. Bridget, inner strength. Bridget is the lady actually that was Britain was named after. She is Celtic. She is traditionally associated with the Imbolc, which is in February, so Aquarius energy. She's the keeper of the flame, one of the keepers of the flame. And she actually does have association with the Winter Triangle, which is the alignment around February. This is strength. It says move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. the warriors, the ones that, you know, the trailblazers, the ones that are here to create something new, the ones that are here to expand people's awareness, the ones that have been fighting an uphill struggle from the moment they came here. This is for you. And this is Bridget. Bridget is with you. Okay, you call it, if you ever need Bridget, you call upon Bridget and you ask Bridget to assist you. If you, especially if you need strength, or you feel you need additional strength, Bridget is brilliant for that energy. For some reason, me and Bridget have definitely an understanding. I don't know if it's because I've got Celtic roots. It could possibly be that case because she is Celtic. She's associated with, you know, but this is about moving back to wholeness. This is your own inner flame. All right, you have all the tools you need. Some people may not because they don't know how to gain those, but these are the people that have got that strength or have walked through that fire. But this is transmutation by fire, and we're in Leo season. So if this month has been particularly hard for you, there's a cleansing, there's a healing going on, the interaction going on that you've got with relatives, friends, co-workers, you know, people that you're working with, or friends, neighbors. Keep going with it. Exactly, Mark. Yes. And if you, I mean, I'll be real honest with you, Mark. I feel very connected to Bridget. She is very, very closely associated with healers. You're right. Again, she transmutates via fire. Usually, I've actually drawn her at one point as well. I've got a drawing of her that I keep. But she's very brilliant for, because I think, Mark, you're in the UK, aren't you? So especially if you've got Irish roots, Celtic roots. You know, my mum's side is Scottish and English. My grandmother was born in Edinburgh. She had an extremely broad Edinburgh accent, and this is someone who had to forge her way when she was here. She fought her way for her existence to maintain her existence here. She was actually eventually the Great Britain. Bridget was named after her. This was her energy. All right. So again, even if you don't have Celtic roots, just tap in and see, you know, call upon Bridget if you need that. But that her energy is very freely available, and I'm hearing that she's offering this energy. She's here to offer the energy. Can you see she's got that halo around her head as well? Green for healing. I'm here. There you go. So Mark, well, of course your name's Mark, so that would make sense. It's a very Irish name. Yes. Then therefore that would probably be why she's, I mean, yeah, keep calling on her. If you need her help, she's with you, you know. Brilliant. Bottom of the deck, Gaia, Earth warrior, Earth connections. Can you see she's holding the Earth? You guys, when you're holding your space and you're holding your light, you're also holding that for Gaia, because of you being here, because you're holding a certain vibration, the vibration that others can't hold because there is a lack of awareness. Hey, RB. Make sure that you're honoring yourself, because it's an extraordinarily important job. It's an extraordinarily important job. Now, people may not understand that, and that's up to them. That's not your issue, because you know what you're here to do. RB, don't we do this every time you come on? I'm an Aries Taurus cusp sun, and I'm a Sagittarius ascendant, and a Scorpio moon. Hold the space, anchor the light. Okay, this is what this is about. She's holding the world here. You've got this. They may not, and that's up to them. It doesn't matter if they have or haven't. But if they can't process something and you're holding that light, that's why you're probably drawing that energy in. All right. So just keep your focus. You are here. Some of you have only touched the surface of what you're here to do. No. Are you talking about the 13th sign? If that's the case, no. That has come up every 3 years. It's a distraction. They're doing it to confuse people. No. It's a distraction. They're trying to confuse people. It's a distraction. It's exactly the message that I've been trying to give. It's a distraction. So the 13th sign that was introduced. No, stick to the sign. So, okay, are you talking about the fact that I'm a cusp? So this is the thing. Look at the sign, the planets, and your chart overall. Look at the chart overall. To identify and look at only one aspect would be, you know, pointless. So the Sun and Mercury currently conjunct in Leo. Okay, so again, the Sun with the light shining on Mercury. Okay, are you trolling here? Because I get the sense that you're a bit sneaky here. You're trying to disrupt the energy. All right, so I'm going to time you out. Right, I'm going to time you out because you're talking totally random stuff now. Okay, it's not what we're discussing, and I know what you're going to say, but you're not. You need to focus within. Do the meditation on this. You're reading a lot, and you're combining a lot of information, and none of it's logical. Okay, and we're in the middle of a reading. If you want a personalized reading, if you want to email me this stuff, by all means. But we're in the middle of a reading. The guides are saying you're off track with this information. That's why I'm saying this. Okay, you're off track. Don't read everything that everyone's telling you. Meditate on it. Mother Mary, love and peace. Mother Mary, let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Wow. I mean, we need that, don't we? I do it. Fucking hell. Look at that beautiful energy. Let go. Surrender. Surrender. Surrender the energy. Just surrender. It's just a lot easier, you know. Life force. Cernuos. Express your driving passion. This is very strong earth energy. This is Virgo. This is Virgo. I'm hearing focus your efforts. Make sure you're focusing your efforts. So Mia, the email address is jalepsychic@yahoo.com. jalepsychic@yahoo.com. And this is what it's all for. It's a heart awakening. We're having upgrades here, guys. Lady Nada. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. If something isn't balanced, move away from it. Again, don't forget what's coming in the sort of 12th of September and moving into the next couple of months. This is setting the tone. Thanks, Jem. Right, guys, let's have a look. What are we doing here? I feel like I want to do some cosmic tarot. I'm just hearing You Light My Life. I think it's a song. Right, well, let me just turn the internet on for a sec. It's I think it's a Gary, I don't know, this is a very interesting channel song I'm hearing here. It's Light My World. I can't remember who sings it. I think it's Gary Barlow. You light up my, what's that? If We Ruled the World, is it? Is that the song? If We Ruled the World? Rule the World, is it? Yeah, it's Rule the World. Okay, interesting. It says, you light the skies up above me. A star so bright you blind me. Don't close your eyes, don't fade away. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. If walls break down, I will comfort you. If angels cry, oh, I'll be there for you. You've saved my soul. Don't leave me now. Don't leave me now. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stayed by my side, we can rule the world. Oh, the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight for you, for you. All the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up. So if you want to have a look at it, it's the lyrics. It's Rule the World, and it's the song is by Take That. It's not from the 1970s. No, it's from Take That, which was, I think it's in the early 2000s or recently. Rule the World was in 2007. The song is from 2007. Right, let's have a look. So that message would have been, again, this is starseed energy. Okay, so don't forget mission. We've got to stay on mission here. The collective, if they're confused, let them be confused. It's not our issue to sit and be totally honest with you, especially if people are resistant to understanding anything. This is not our job. Just focus on you, because that's a distraction. Focus on the things that you know you can achieve. All right. Now, if you feel like at some point you want to go back to it, then by all means, you know, if you feel like you need to do it, but don't let that throw you off. Because this is the thing, I wasn't going to do a reading today. I was like, I can't, I'm not going to sit and do this because I don't want to have someone that's a little bit unbalanced banging the crap out of that door while I'm in the reading, because I will be embarrassed, you know. But my guides were like, don't you worry, keep going. So I was like, okay, I trust you. I've always trusted you. I owe you my life. You know, I wouldn't be alive, you know, if it wasn't for you guys. So yeah, sure, I'll listen. No worries. The internet is going to be a little bit off kilter. Guys, I apologise. Thanks, Mia. Thank you, Mia. I appreciate you. We just got to keep going with it, because, as I say, there's a little gremlins, as Jen would say, some gremlins in the system here. Gremlin situation. Just let them do what they need to do. They can all combust in a different direction. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Overextending. Now, this is for me. I'm going to take my time tonight, and I'm going to do maybe 2 hours of work, and then that's it. That'll be it. I'm going to be focusing on me up until tomorrow when we do Ladies' Night. Yes, Ladies' Night is still going to continue. If you want to join us, we're all going to be on Twitch. Link is in the description box. Maybe Jen will be able to post that. So yeah, 11 p.m. that we'll be doing that. But for the majority of my time, I will be focusing on me. Yeah, you're right. I did see that was the start of the song from Stardust. If you feel drawn to watching the film, it might be worth watching the film. Stardust, Starseed. Especially if you are identifying as a starseed, or maybe if you don't know what that means, have a look into that, do a bit of research on it. Essentially, you were born from another world. All right, you were born from another world. Your lineage is definitely descending from other alternative areas of the universe as opposed to just the world. So you're probably here to do something, especially if you're resonating with that song, or if you feel drawn to that energy, because this is where we need to be on mission. This is our starseed mission here. It's why we're here. It's a call to action. It's a call to action. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was calling to action last night, so it's going to be interesting to see what energies come up in the next few days. Because when I call to action, I'm going to be honest. The last time I called to action, the epidemic started. I'm going to just be very honest with you about that. So let's see what we can do. But make sure you're in balance and you're honoring your own emotions, and also taking some time for you. Self-care, really important. And just because it's the Queen of Wands, you could be masculine as well. It doesn't mean that it's only for women, this message. It you know, light, dark, female, masculine. Take it as it resonates. Don't let someone's guides going off. You must not let this energy stop you. You must not. Because this is the thing, I've been sleeping like my body just needs sleep because I'm going through an upgrade. And so when that happens, I sleep a lot. All right. So listen to your body, listen to your guides, trust yourself. If you feel like you don't have anyone else to speak to, you send it upstairs. They'll hear you, and then usually it comes to me, and then I can say yes or no or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be like, yes, this is something that I can sort out because I'm one of them. No, they pass it to me if they want, you know, an answer or something. Sometimes, look, bottom of the deck, the star. Don't forget we had an Aquarius full moon recently when I connected with that lady, with all that energy. Now, I'll be honest with you, I need to get the mermaid deck, because in the mermaid deck, the Queen of Cups is that woman that I connected with. So I really have to invest in the mermaid deck. So I'm going to try and get that soon. But because Amazon is a pain in the backside, if anyone's got any ideas of where I can put my wish list or where is a good site, can you let me know? Because people getting a bit fed up with Amazon, as am I, if I'm totally honest with you. So just let me know. Because ain't no one going to sit and rummage around bins, try and look for parcels to see if they've been delivered. Hey JK, same initials as me. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a general collective reading. There should be messages in here for you. So Star, this is the full moon that we've recently had. Can you see the alignment here with that star? This is ancestors putting out a call. This is a call to action. This is your ancestors. If you've been struggling, if you've been trying to maintain your space or hold your light, this has been heard. But there's a call to action, and it's not just for you. There's a collective energy that's being acknowledged within this. And pay attention who you're drawn to. Pay attention who you're drawn to. Okay, now, even if you feel like you don't have people around you that you can speak to about this on any level, you will. It could be that your soul mission at this stage was to do it alone, because I know for me, it was for me. That I can honestly guarantee you. Because for some unknown reason, I turned around and said, this whole situation, I'll do it alone. It is what it is. It's obviously a soul lesson that I need to learn. So, but don't be worried, because at some point you will draw in your soul tribe, your team, your whoever it is you are needing or wanting, because the need would have been worked through. So just keep going with it. Don't underestimate yourself either. That's another thing I want to say. It's very easy to sit at this point and listen to people's opinions, especially if they're your own family. Especially if they want to project on you. Don't do it. Don't listen to it. You know better. Your guides know better. Your guides especially can understand what it is you need to learn. You bit off more than you can chew with that planet. With this planet, well, yeah, I mean, we all did. We all did. We all did, but do you know what the funny thing is we've done this before. Because this is Atlantis. This is very Atlantean energy. This is very Atlantean energy. And don't forget, we did this before in Atlantis. Well, JK, you've come to the right place. Not only are your initials my own initials, but I can 100% resonate with you. Do not take the bait. That was the message that we've just gone into. Do not take the bait. Okay, you must stay very calm. Must stay very calm, especially if you're an empath. Do not take the bait, because you're going to be drawn into something. And especially if you're on, because this is the thing, when I'm in my space, I'm not on guard, because I can't be on guard if I'm reading for people and I'm channeling. And that was the issue. That was the issue, because I wasn't on guard. That was the issue. So just be very, and it doesn't mean to say you go in sort of like, just be aware. This is about getting your meditation in, making sure that you're balanced, topping your cup up, making sure that you're in a good headspace, a good heart space before you go in. So I'm going to be really honest with you. If you are aware of what your role was in Atlantis, this is going to help you. Because I know what my role was in Atlantis, and it wasn't good. I'm not going to lie. My role was awful. I was a little bit upset, and a certain earthquake that may have or may not have happened, may or may not have been associated with me, or may not have been associated with me, or may have or may not have. Have a look into Atlantis. Have a look into, do some research on Atlantis. There's a repeating pattern here. Atlantis would have been around the age of Gemini, Cancer. All right, we've just come out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. Again, the star. This is the time for the starseed, the age of Aquarius. So your ancestors, who are probably originating from someone else. Well, I mean, if Amazon actually deliver parcels, I mean, Karen was going to donate a deck, and it got lost in the post. And I've also had someone else that was saying that they wanted to send me something, and then that got lost as well. So this is why I put the Amazon situation on hold, because I'm not comfortable people trying to forage around getting, you know, refunds, and it's not getting delivered because someone's. Oh, that was weird. So the weirdness about that is that something in my laptop recognized me talking about Amazon, and you know, the not the Hey Siri, the other one with the Microsoft, that's come up. Make sure you're staying, when you go into that, make sure you meditate, you take a salt bath, and you're very calm, and try and listen best you can. This is about topping your cup up here, self-love. Mark, what on call? Sorry. So I'm getting a very strong energy around the solar plexus. So this is confidence. Don't associate with people that are knocking your confidence down. I'm telling you now. If people are constantly knocking you, there's one thing giving practical criticism, but if someone's trying to break you down, don't be around that. Now, don't do a me and go in guns blazing, because I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, I went in all kinds of guns blazing, because my Uranus is conjunct my IC, and my Mars is conjunct my transiting Mars in Aries. Yes. Yes, it wasn't pleasant, but do you know what? They built me to handle myself, you know. Yeah, the mermaid deck is called, I think, the mermaid deck. But we need to find a place that's more reliable than Amazon. So you watch, this laptop's going to record me saying Amazon again now. So I've got my heart chakra and my solar plexus at the moment is needing to be looked at, looking at eating all things yellow, all things green, focusing on confidence. Now, JK, I don't know if that's associated with you or if that's a general collective that I'm tuning into, but these two chakras here are blocked, all right? So this is willpower, confidence, and emotions. Focusing on your emotions. You need to let this out. If you're holding on to emotions here, you must let this out. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Us Turks, we have sad crying music that we listen to. Yes, that's a thing as well. I have a playlist that I will make sure I listen to if I need to cry. Yeah. Yes, the difference definitely is insane when you do it like that. I think I picked the most interesting place to do this. Yeah. We're in a Gemini moon at the moment. I think we're about to go into Cancer moon, and the energy in the last day and a half has been weird. Very, very, there's a paradox of energy here. There's a paradox of energy, all right? Go easy on yourself. 111, make a wish, guys. Thank you for your likes as well. I appreciate you. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your likes. The Ace of Swords. This was in the deck and it was turned the other way. You're coming into an alignment with truth, and you're moving away from a disillusionment energy, which we're ascending, because this is the thing. Anything that is not in alignment, that you know is on a repetitive pattern, that you know is not acknowledging what you're saying or anything, just do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Now, probably don't do what I did, which is I went in guns blazing, because I was like, oh hell no, we're not doing this. There's only so much I can handle. I'm gonna now raise my voice because I've lost my shit because I've just woken up. And believe you me, I can defend myself. So my guides are not too happy with me because I went overboard as usual when I do lose my shit. Balance. Don't do what I did. Just don't do what I did. I went totally overkill with it. And there was a few truths that came out that probably they didn't need to be aware of. You know, I'm trying to I mean, look, to be honest with you, half my Turkish ancestors are like, you know, like, yeah, Hadi, like, yes, keep going. Because that's 100% my Turkish side kicking in there. You know, because us Turks, we like to defend our ground. Yeah, but Amy, there's a difference. If you'd have heard what I said, then I think you'd understand what I'm saying here. Because it was absolutely brutal. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. My guides are like Jale. I think you may have needed to maybe restricted that last part that you added in there. You know, you didn't need to go to the 100th degree. I mean, they're right. They're 100% right. Because I was like, I saw red. That was it. You've just kicked the door in. I'm asleep. Are you actually joking me? Are you actually joking me? And I'm not good when I wake up because listen, I astral travel when I go to sleep. So I've come from all kinds of lovely paradises into going and dealing with my door being kicked in. And this is the thing, like you know, I can be balanced, but I'm half Turkish, guys. And if you don't know what that means, if you ever want to know what the Turkish temper is like, I would recommend you don't try and research it because it's not good. Me and my dad and my brother are exactly the same in that respect. My sister even says, you are like a Turkish man, Jale. I'm like, yeah, basically, yeah. So now I have a plan of action where I won't be doing that again because my planets at the moment are in all kinds of weird positions to totally trigger the shit out of me. So that's something I have to resolve. My guides are not happy, but my Turkish ancestors are loving it because they're like, yeah, you know, stand your ground. And if that means fighting, then you fight. And I'm like, no, we're not going to fight, all right? Because, you know, I don't know if you know all the ticket history of Turkish people, but if you need to understand that, then Google it. Google that. And, you know, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. I'm definitely more Turkish, though, I feel. Balance, 6 of Pentacles. Can you see? They're balancing the emotional with the physical here. So the Leo, as we go out of Leo season, we're going to be transferring that kind of emotional balance into the more physical balance. Because that Judgment's in the reverse. Not quite ready. That I can relate to. The Moon. So watch out between now and the 19th. All right, this is the new moon. The new moon will be in Leo. Watch out. I'm just seeing someone shooting their shot here. Okay, now don't forget, the end of the month, Cupid goes direct. But I'm seeing, it feels like, what's her name? The goddess of the moon, Diana. It feels like Diana's shooting something here to see if it sticks. So if you're being drawn into something emotionally, do not repeat, do not go freaking postal like I did against two people where it escalated way too much because someone overstepped a boundary. I saw red, which, let me repeat this, if I lose my temper, usually I'm absorbing something, usually, which means there's an energy coming in here. And I want you guys to fall into that trap, all right? Because that's totally, I give them credit because that was, they know. Me waking up is a no-go. If you wake me up in that way, now I'm going to be honest with you, I did Big Brother, and they used to do that in Big Brother. And I'll be honest with you, I had PTSD when I came out of Big Brother. And so that triggered the shit out of me because that's still, I need to resolve. And it's when I wake up, if I'm being woken up in a very violent manner, where there's someone literally trying to burst in my door, that's not good. All right. So that they know, they've done it deliberately because this is what they're doing. They're trying to prepare me. And so because they're trying to prepare me, it means they're trying to prepare you. All right. So just be aware. Now, it's nothing to be fearful of. You don't need to be in fear because that's not what they're doing. They're not trying to create fear. They're just doing it in a, like I said before, when they maybe quit smoking. They don't fuck about with me. I keep swearing here, but they really do not. And the reason they do that is because they want me to get to a certain point. My guides are perfectionists for me because they want me to be disciplined. And that's just my path. Because I'm a Taurus, I can fall out of the discipline, you see. So apply it to you. If you know you've got a weak spot or something that you're vulnerable in, look at that. Because again, it could be that, again, just be aware that the universe may test a little bit at this time. Because this is what they did, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you, that was a massive fail. That was an F if I saw it. Because I took the bait. 100% took the bait. Not only did I take the bait, I wrapped the bait back up and delivered it back to them in a lovely parcel that probably is going to make me be thrown out of this house. So it was not good. It was, think of the worst thing someone could say. That was me. Because I don't mess around. If someone's really dreading, and can I just FYI, before it makes me sound like I'm a psychopath. So this has happened before, where someone's tried to kick my door in to try and wake me up. And I've warned the person, please, whatever you need to do, if you want to message me and say, or ring my phone, that's fine. Please don't come to my door and do that because it's not good for me. And they don't listen. So now I'm like, right, now I've got to deal with this because anything's going to go, right? Got to be aware that if they're not going to listen, then we take precautions. We take precautions because we're not going to get caught out twice. Excellent, Nina. That's good. Excellent. Let's hope that was the end of that then. Let's hope that was the end of that. You know, I wish you, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. Right, divine doors. Let's see what the messages are. Divine doors. What are the messages, please? Divine doors. Frickin' heck. This feels Japanese. The walkway. Orange is that sacral chakra. So this is emotions, joy, all right, balance, silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. This is meditation. So this is how I'm reading this, is if you don't already meditate, maybe have a look into it. If you're meditating, maybe do a bit more, because I know I'm going to have to. That's clear. So they're just, I feel this is a bit of a heads up here that we need to kind of get our balance with things. Okay, and look, this is me building the new door into my room. As you can see, it's stone. It says, bless this space. Your sacred space holds the soul to bear. Palo Santo or sage will clear the air. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to go around with every single salt that I can find and put it in the corners of every part of this room. And then we're doing a Solfego marathon tonight because clearly this whole room and the house needs it. The problem is that if they go out, then I can play music everywhere, and I can't. See, this is the thing. They don't like sage. This is when you know, right? My mum hates the smell of sage. That's when you know. Now, usually I wait for her to go out and then burn the whole house, but she doesn't go out, so we need to be clever. Here we go. Message turned over. Oh, look at this. This is nice. It says, a reminder for even the most... I've got to laugh. A reminder for even the most hopeless of lost cases. You can find peace within the strangest of places. Oh my God. Right. First of all, my eyes are glued together. That is brilliant. That is actually brilliant. A reminder for even the most hopeless of lost cases. You can find... I love the fact that the guys have this sense of humour. This makes me laugh. You can find peace within the strangest of places. Yeah, too right. I agree, I concur. I concur with that message. That's brilliant. And let's go with the cosmic. Let's go with the cosmic. What is the message, please? What is the message? I'm hearing music again. They want. Right, I've noted that. We're going to do something with music as well, guys. This is the message. What happened to my throat, Tia Nina? Believe. This is the Phoenix energy, I believe. Believe. This is number 4, which is Cancer energy. Believe. And they want me to take one from the Starseed Oracle deck, which would make sense. Okay. What is the message? Wow. Star bathing. Light body. Crystal grid transmission activation. If you're drawn to looking into crystal grids, look into crystal grids, right? Probably I feel like that's probably a message for me as well. And the golden children. It says inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. All right. There's something here about anchoring in via your energy into the grid, into the crystalline grid, into the earth from up there. It's like we're channeling this into here, but also it's for what's to come, that we're the light that we're bringing to the planet, but also what's to come from our own light. This is what this is. So they're trying to clear this out. Any last minute things that are still triggering or holding us back, they're trying to clear it out. Okay, guys, this is your reading. Join me tomorrow for Ladies' Night. Jen, if you can post the link, that would be awesome. Thank you to Jen for moderating. Thank you to everyone who's liked the stream. I appreciate you. So the uploads today will be Libra's uploads. And then we'll do Scorpio as well. Probably, as I say, join us tomorrow, Ladies' Night on Twitch. Again, Jen, if you can link in the Twitch link, that would be cool. So guys, if you want to join us, that's 11 p.m. British Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't already signed up, it would just ask you for your email and a password, and then just click on the follow button. And as I say, it will be notifying you when you go live. Thank you so much, Karen. I hope you have a good evening, afternoon to you as well. Thank you so much for all your support, guys, to the channel. Until next time, take care.